hanggang alas 2 ng hapon ngayon, na lahat pala tayo ay kailangan mag-Pilipino. If I had known that, I would have prepared my speech and then have it translated kasi medyo tagilid ako pag Pilipino. So you will have to forgive me. I am going to speak in English. Members of the graduating class, your parents and loved ones, Dean Arsenio Balisacan and the rest of my colleagues in the faculty and staff of the school, friends, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. No offense meant to Dean Balisacan, but I am greeting the people gathered here in the order of their importance. And you, graduating class, are number 1. So it is with the greatest of pleasure that I am with you today. Smarred only slightly by the thought that I would actually rather be listening to somebody else giving the commencement speech so that I can, in my mind, criticize what he or she is saying, and then in my mind also urge him or her to stop already kasi masyadong matagal na. I'd rather be that than be here and the object of your forbearance. And before I go any further, I have to thank Noel de Dios for that beautiful, totally destroying my emotions introduction. Thank you so much, Noel. I appreciate you. Alam nyo, I have made a count. I've tried to make a count of how many commencement exercises I have attended in my lifetime. 4 as a member of the graduating class, 23 as a parent, 1 as a grandparent, at least 25 as a member of the faculty, and roughly 25 as commencement speaker. So that comes out to roughly 78, although there are a couple of duplications. I mean, I'm here as a faculty and I attended the graduation of Toby as a PhD and masteral, etc. In any case, I think that's a broad enough experience, don't you think? And the conclusion that I have come to, mga anak, is that a commencement speaker does not really contribute in any way to the occasion. Her role sometimes is purely decorative, maybe to lend some kind of status, but even that is in question. And generally is regarded sometimes, pwede ba? Matapos na siya para we can get on with it for our graduation. So I am very, shall we say, realistic about what a commencement speaker is. Frankly, I do not know kung sino ang commencement speaker ko sa high school, sa college, sa masteral, etc. I just don't know. And I don't even know what the message was. So I am going to make sure, and I'm going to, well, at least I will try my best, not to remain in your memory as one who spoke too long. So I have only 3 points to share with you this afternoon. The first point is that I have to reiterate, and I've said so any number of times, that you are so absolutely fortunate to have finished college. Only 12 to 15 out of every 100 students who started grade 1 with you have done so. And you are one of them. There's more. You are crème de la crème de la crème. The last de la crème is because you finished college. The second to the last de la crème is because you did it in the University of the Philippines, Diliman. And the crème is because you accomplished it in the School of Economics. Congratulations. You seem to have passed with flying colors. Only consider, tinanong ko kay Tita Connie ninyo, ano ba ang general weighted average ng graduating class na ito? 1.747
Wow.
is your general weighted average. Wow, that's below the average, huh? And that 1.747 would have been higher, except that your grades were dragged down by, guess what? Your economics weighted average. Ang economics weighted average niyo po ay 1.963, which should put to rest any malicious speculation that the reason students do so well in the School of Economics is that the faculty are easy graders. They obviously are not. So truly, you can be proud of yourselves. But before I start going to my second point, but before I get there, I want to give credit where it is due. Without the efforts and sacrifices of your parents, you would not be here now. So, I would like to ask all parents, guardians to rise. Those who are sitting around you, please rise. Parents? Yes. Excuse me, graduating class, that is not enthusiastic enough. Okay. Thank you very much. You have stood with them and you stand behind them every day of their lives. Thank you so much. And while we're at it naman, pwede ba, let us also ask our teachers and the administrative staff who are here today of the School of Economics to stand so that they can be given a round of applause. Ito naman yan ang napakatipisig, napakatatalino. Okay. But, as I have always said, in the final analysis, we teachers don't give you your grades. We merely record them. Your grades, your presence here today, are due only to your own efforts. Pinaghirapan ninyo ito. So I want you to now all stand up and give yourselves the biggest cheer for having done such a good job. Yay! Okay? Talagang, napakagagaling ninyo. And I want to tell you, please sit down, tapos na. You know, not only have you had such good averages, but your planning has been so good. Every detail, I think, of this graduation exercise has been planned by you or your organizing committee. Pati pa naman yung sulat na pinadala sa akin ni Dean Balisacan. I have not asked him about it. But he sent me a letter which did not sound like him, inviting me to be guest speaker. So I thought it must have been drafted by one of you, the organizing committee. And I think, frankly, what made me sure that it was drafted by the students was because yung sulat na sinay niya ganito, if you have any questions, please contact, tapos may open parenthesis, name, close parenthesis, at number, open parenthesis, CP or landline, close parenthesis. Hindi niya fill in kung sino yung name at saka basta sinay na lang niya. So alam ko, kayo ang gumawa nun. Hindi lang yan, ha? Tapos, 1 week ago, abay, naka-receive ako ng text kay Paulo asking to reconfirm whether I am still going to speak before you today. So I texted him back and I said, of course. Unless, of course, you want to retrieve the invitation, and that's okay with me too. So he said, no. So talagang pinaplano, wanted to make sure everything is all right. And that, with that kind of attention to detail, my goodness. You should be in NEDA. And you would do a better job than what we have been doing so far. So that's all very well and good. Thank you. And of course, the only thing to make sure that you are not saints and you're not perfect is you forgot to tell me that I had to be in, ano ito? Filipiniana. I only found out also at 2 o'clock. So I panicked and I called my daughter and I said, "Are you in Filipiniana?" And she said, "No, why? I said, "Because it's supposed to be Filipiniana." So there we were, already dressed, and we had to change and put in Filipiniana just for you. And if you think that is not a sacrifice, I want you to think again. Because I was in a white, cool, flowing dress, and here I am in this very, very heavy dress that makes me perspire. But for you, I will do it. Okay. So now my point number 2, it has to do with what is ahead of you. And of course, the standard answer is, the world is your oyster. What is ahead of you is limited only by your imagination and your capacity for hard work. I say with total assurance that with the education that you have received from the university and the school, you have all that it takes to do and to be anything that you want to do and to be. The background that you have had has not just added to your store of knowledge, it has taught you how to think and how to create new knowledge. That is something that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I don't know what made you decide to take economics or to major in economics. I myself started out as a pre-med student. Actually, economics was my most hated subject in high school. So you ask, well, why am I here today? It's a very funny story. I was in pre-med. I could not stand the zoology. I could not dissect a frog. I fainted at the sight of blood. So I was very unhappy. And my mother, who was a faculty member of the Spanish department, brought me to the university guidance counselor, and she gave me an exam, aptitude test, and lo and behold, my aptitude pala was social science. She said, "Why don't you try economics?" Sabi ko, just, wah. But I will do it. I will try it. And after a few false starts, I did it. I got with my stride, and I have never regretted it. And I think you will never regret this fantastic background you have just been given. So you can do everything that you want to do. You can be everything you want to be. You've got what it takes. All you need is a lot more hard work. Point number 3 is that, well, let's summarize. Number 1 is that you are fortunate. Number 2, the world is your oyster with the pearl ready to be picked. The last point is the most important point. So I want you to listen up. The point is, to whom much is given, much is expected. We are talking about payback time. To whom do you pay back? What is expected of you? Who expects anything? Well, the first thing that comes to mind, of course, is that you're expected to make the most of yourselves, not to waste your talents. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with wealth and success. For the school, that is certainly enough. For some parents, that will be sufficient. They're going to have boasting privileges about how well their son and daughter has done. And for others, well, you may be expected to help your younger siblings to pay back, as far as to give a return on the investment that is being made. That is fine, that is to be expected. But let us not forget that we have a larger audience, that we have a responsibility to our country too. Let's face it, the Filipino people have invested in you. They deserve a return on that investment too. How? By helping her with her many problems, economic, social, political, which can only be solved with your active and selfless and dedicated participation. One only has to look around to see what happens to a country when its political leaders, be they in the administration or in the opposition, look out for their own welfare rather than the country's.